Hey everybody, welcome to StudioB. It's Brooke. I've been thinking a lot lately about everything that's been happening in the world right now. And now with the death of George Floyd, I think that it's a very important time to get out a message about anti-racism. I'm going to be talking about 5 different books that have a really strong anti-racism message and can just give you a whole new perspective. Obviously, I am not an expert on this subject, which is why I was a little scared to do this video. I live in Southern California. My mom is Hispanic and my dad is white. So I have never been a target of racism, but it is a really important subject. And I just really love these books. They gave me a new perspective on what people are experiencing and have to deal with. And I really wanted to share those with you. I really loved this book. When I first read this book, I was kind of scared and shocked by everything that I read in this book, because this book was so good. It felt like you were just there kind of experiencing all of it. And as 5th grade me, I had never seen or experienced racism, but this book was just so shocking to me. And it really gave me a new perspective, and it really clarified to me how important this is, and it brought up a new issue that I wasn't even thinking about. Ghost Boys is about a boy who was shot and killed by a police officer because he was playing with a toy gun. When he dies, he becomes a ghost boy, a group of African American boys who were killed unjustly by police officers. And in this book, you get to meet a lot of historical African American figures that were killed by police. This book to me was so sad. I felt like crying all the time while I was reading this. And a good thing about this book is that it is appropriate for younger ages too. This is more of a middle grade book, so you can share it with your siblings. This book was not at my school, but personally I believe that it should be in every school because it just taught me so much about racism and different historical figures that had been killed unjustly by police officers. I think that this book is more important than ever. This book is called The Hate You Give. This book is about a 16-year-old African American girl who has a bunch of problems in her life. Her family, her friends, her school, and then on top of that, her friend is shot and killed in front of her by a police officer. Because of what happened to her, she decides it's time for her to step up and be an activist and get her voice out there. And she decides that she has to be the one to start making a change. It has amazing reviews, and almost all of my teachers since like 6th grade have been telling me, you need to read this book. And I'm like, I need to read this book. Book number 3 is A Good Kind of Trouble. This book is great because it is appropriate for much younger audiences down to, I think, age 8, and of course just anywhere up from there. Our main character finds ways to fight against racism and promote anti-racism in her own school. A Good Kind of Trouble is a great book to start reading books about racism because it is not as deep and heavy with so many different horrible things going on that it just emotionally overwhelms you. Between getting in trouble at school with principals and messing up friendships, fighting against racism unfortunately causes her a lot of trouble, but it's the good kind. Book number 4 is Just Mercy, and this book is the opposite of our last one. My mom just finished the original Just Mercy, and there is a young adult version. This book is very serious and very sad and deep and just very emotional, a very hard book to read if you know what I mean. It is about a lawyer who works on death row cases. You really clearly see the horrible injustice and racism that affects the lives of so many African Americans and how they're discriminated against. And this book is so important, especially for someone that doesn't experience racism like me. I haven't seen it, but this book made me realize how much racism there really is in our country and that we really do need to fight against it. And for my final book, New Kid. This book is middle grade to young adult, and it is much less serious than Just Mercy or The Hate You Give. This one has elements of funny, of happy, but it also shows racism and discrimination. I hope that these books helped you feel inspired to fight against racism in your community or school. So down below, I have links to podcasts, books, articles to hopefully spread the anti-racism message. I know this isn't my usual video. I'm usually much more happy and excited to talk about my books, but I really do feel like this is an important message to spread right now. I have links down below. If you find any of those that were helpful or informative or uplifting, please send those to your family or friends or anyone that you think could benefit from having it. Stay safe, healthy, and please do everything you can to peacefully help stop racism and discrimination in our country or in your country if you live somewhere else. Please like this and subscribe to my channel for lots more book reviews of every kind. And thank you so much for watching StudioB.